If you want to show us some love, donate at rubydaytv.com, the home of all my exclusives. And don't forget to leave the show a rating or a review. You know, I've always wondered, is watching porn considered cheating?
Yeah.
You think?
Well, I don't know. I'm not
I
saying
don't
yes. I'm just saying, yeah, I
know.
agree with that question. I've asked that question many times myself. Like, what is that? I mean, is it? Is it cheating? I mean, I don't think it's cheating because I've done it quite a bit.
Well,
with
we're
my
going to
partner.
find out on
Yeah.
today's episode of Love
Yeah.
Shot. I'm Ruby Day.
And I'm Olivia.
Okay, so what
Yeah.
do you think about that?
Well, I think it's hot to watch porn with a partner. I think that's really, really hot. I think the only time I've ever thought of it like being maybe cheating with my partner is like they were watching porn, spending their time doing porn or watching it and stuff like that. Not doing porn, but spending their time with the porn so much so that I'm not getting the attention.
So it's not really about the porn. It's
Right.
about the fact you're
Yeah.
not getting the attention.
Yeah, it's like, hey, I don't care if you want to watch porn.
I know,
and do that,
but
give me attention too, because I want attention. Yeah.
But like, you didn't know your partner watched porn.
Yeah.
Because I've had this instance.
Well, that's not a problem, I guess.
You didn't
but,
know your partner watched porn.
Yeah.
And one day you come home and you catch him jacking off watching porn.
Right. Yeah.
Is that considered cheating?
I don't think so. I mean, I think more so it's like if I saw my partner doing that, I'd probably be like, I'm gonna go get that myself. I mean, like, here, let me take care of that for you. You know, because I'd be like, hey, he's trying to take care of it and I wasn't here, but if I'm here and I show up,
But
boom,
what if
let
he
me
was
take it.
having alone time? I mean,
Yeah.
maybe he was having some self-care time.
Well, maybe he'd like me to go down on him while he keeps watching porn, because I'd be down with that. You know, I think it's just the fact of wanting to be involved and feeling like the porn isn't taking away the attention from the partner. And I think that's the thing that I've talked to some women who feel like that's cheating because you're cheating them out of, it's not like you're physically cheating on them, but you're cheating them out of attention and being part of it. And some women don't want to watch porn, but there's some girls who like to watch porn. And I'm like, I'm one of those. I don't watch a lot of it, but I do occasionally watch porn. I would love to watch porn with my partner. I would get involved with them doing that. I think it's something a couple could share. And I think it can be definitely something
Absolutely.
that can spice up your sex life at times, especially when you've been with the same partner for so long. It's kind of invigorating. So no, I don't think porn in itself and watching it is cheating, but I think it's how you use the porn. I think that's how I would
Yeah, but
look at
isn't
it.
that just kind of splitting hairs? I mean,
I don't think so.
I've known girls that, now I've never run into women who, like you said,
Yeah.
they don't feel like they're getting the attention, so that's what they consider cheating.
Right.
Now, the girls I've run into, they're either like me and they're like, okay, so it's porn, so
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
You know, if it becomes an addiction issue, that's a whole
Well,
nother
that's a whole
thing.
nother problem. Yeah, that's a
It
problem.
doesn't have
Yeah.
anything to do with the cheating aspect. But other women I've run into and talked to about this, like, they don't want their partner, their man, to be watching any porn.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, it's almost a monogamous perspective.
Well, it's a conservative perspective.
Of, hey, if they're looking at someone else, thinking about someone else, then I consider that cheating.
Well,
I'm not that strict because I have all
No.
kinds of fantasies with all
Yeah.
kinds of people running in
And-
my head all
Yes.
the time. Now, I don't know if that's, I don't consider it cheating because I'm like that, but it's not like they're actually hooking up with the people.
right, and
It's not like
it's-
they're necessarily hiding the aspect of watching porn, so to speak.
right, right.
There's no actual physical contact.
Well, yeah,
And
yeah, absolutely. But I think some of those women, I've run into a few that are very, very conservative, and like they don't want their partner to be tempted by another kind of situation, and that's a whole nother situation, and that's a whole other set of beliefs, and that's a whole other set of
But
people.
those-
but I'm a modern woman. I am not a woman like that. That stuff
those
doesn't
are
bother
the
me. Yeah.
people that my experience has been always think porn is cheating.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I think it's those very conservative, narrow-minded perspectives, and they're insecure. I think it's more of an insecurity with their own body that their partner's going to be so tempted, like their relationship isn't really bonded, and if they see another one that looks, and they think, oh, they're going to leave me. But the thing is, that's being insecure in your relationship. That's what that is. It's sowing self-insecurity, and you're just insecure, And I think that's probably the problem with those types of women when they're really looking at that. I think that's,
I don't make those kinds of calls and judgments.
Well,
on
I get
people.
it, and I'm not trying to be judgy. But
It's just the fact of, it's like my boundary line with that is a little different than theirs.
Yeah.
For whatever reason,
modern days,
it doesn't matter.
But there's a lot of women out there in the modern day that this is not cheating. Now, I think there's some other aspects that I have heard, like, people with OnlyFans and stuff like that, and these girls that are selling the girlfriend experience and stuff like that. Now, where the guys are actually chit-chatting and sending videos of them back and forth and the girls back and forth, and they're having like almost a online sexting type thing. Now that's a little different because that's not just watching porn. That's actually creating porn for each other, sexting it back and forth. And I think that might be that might skirt in a little area of cheating.
Wait a minute.
It's different.
I have friendships that have those types of dynamics in them.
Well, I get that, but you have an open relationship, and that's not. But think about a monogamous person, and if they found out that their boyfriend
I
or
honestly
girlfriend
cannot think like a monogamous person. Okay, it's just it's not really in my power to fully comprehend.
Help you, honey. Let me help you because I was a monogamous person at one time early on in my life.
But I get the things that are important for them and in their
and
contextual.
I think that speaking from my own experience of when I was a monogamous person, I think if I saw that there was actually an exchange like sexting, but you're doing it on an adult site like OnlyFans or something like that. I think that all of a sudden that would make me as a woman in a monogamous relationship, that would make me feel like my partner is having an online affair kind of situation, which would be cheating.
I think they call that jealousy.
Well, I don't think it's jealousy. It's because they're investing in it. They're investing and creating content both ways.
No, not the person engaging in it. The person, the external person. I think they call that jealousy.
No, I don't think that's jealousy in any shape or form. I think what it is knowing that your partner is literally being intimate, even if it's online, with another human being and doing it behind your back. Now, if my partner was like, hey, I got this girl I want to support and make videos and do it, then that'd be a whole different story. But if they're doing it behind your back, I think that could be cheating. But that's only one little facet of like watching porn. I mean, watching porn, and when I think about watching porn, I'm thinking about people who produced porn and you're just going and watching it and you're not engaged with it other than watching it. It's not like I'm sending videos back and forth to the person and they're creating content for me specifically. It's just like, no, this person created some content and I'm going to watch it and I'm going to enjoy it, And that's a very, very different thing. But I see that you have a very different opinion on that, which I'm sure everybody has a different opinion on.
Some people think any luscious thought or idea about anyone other than their direct partner is cheating.
Yeah.
Now,
I guess there's a varying degree in there.
I'm human.
Yeah.
And I believe everyone else that's male
we all look.
are all human as well.
Yeah.
And it's just basic human nature.
Yeah, you're right.
To have the mind wander about someone or something, or, maybe their girl isn't really into gangbangs or DPs.
Right,
and
so they want to watch
They
it.
have a fantasy of having watching their girl have a DP or a gangbang.
Yeah.
So they're not going to share those aspects with their partner if they're not into it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And some people consider that, going and searching it out kind of like cheating.
That's entertainment.
Boundaries.
You're seeking out entertainment.
My boundaries do not encompass that.
Well, then tell me
because
this.
every experience that I've had where I've found out a partner's flirting with somebody or sexting with someone that I didn't necessarily know or I wasn't aware it was going on.
Yeah.
it was always some form of jealousy that
Yeah.
was actually the problem, and not the fact that my partner
you-
was doing that
Oh,
with someone.
so this topic just moved from watching porn to sexting. So sexting, since I guess that
Well,
does kind of
no,
cover some of the
you know,
deal, but
it's
how
you
is
brought it
sexting
up
not
with
cheating
EOF.
if it's behind the partner's back?
Well, I didn't specify if it was behind my back or not.
Well, let's
It
say
was
it
just
is.
someone I
Yeah.
wasn't aware that they were engaging in those ways with, so that
Right.
I understood the dynamic of their relationship and interchange so that I could appropriate it.
Well, right. If you're like the other woman, is that what you're saying? So if you're like you're the
Well,
woman.
no, it
Yeah.
was my partner doing it with someone else.
Oh, okay, okay.
So that I can appropriate
Yeah.
the type of relationship they have.
Yeah.
And in some ways, for me, it's not much different than with porn.
Yeah.
My partner is having some form of relationship. I use quotes,
porn?
relationship, engagement with porn.
Now, how do you have a
So-
relationship with porn? Because I don't feel like it's a relationship
talk
unless
to any porn connoisseur.
well, okay.
Talk to any porn addict. Talk to any, I mean,
Well,
we
the
can
only
keep
way
going.
I see relationship with porn is the guys or girls and people that they literally do those girlfriend experiences or the exchange of videos back and forth, which are like you're paying for sexting, basically. And that definitely seems like it could be skirting the edge of some
But
people's
what about
monogamy.
campsites? And is that still, I mean,
Okay,
because
yeah, I
that's
mean, that's
live
kind of
porn.
Yeah, right.
So
right.
is that included
I don't know. I guess it could get
in that cheating paradigm? I mean, I'm sure
There's all types of
everybody-
porn in there, yeah.
there's all different
Oh,
types
God.
and styles, and so how is one not cheating and the other
Well,
is?
I'll say this, and I'm a
You
pretty
know.
open-minded lady, and my partner and I are non-monogamous and stuff like that. But if I came home and I found my partner literally patroning and I mean patroning by they're paying, right?
Right.
Money's being shelled out to a cam girl or some girl, that they're exchanging personal videos.
Mm-hmm.
And he didn't share this with me, I'd be livid. I would be livid, and we would be having a big talk about what's appropriate in this relationship. If I came home and I was just I find him on the couch
So all
watching a gangbang porn or something that's like an entertainment or some wild experience situation. Okay, yeah, I'd sit down and watch it with him. It's like, hey, what are you watching? What is this? Does this make you hot? And so that's kind of how I would play it.
that just means he'll hide it from you, but still do it.
What with the
yeah.
camming and stuff like that?
Because that's not behavior you
I don't
just
think,
stop.
Right, but I would be like, we were going to have a talk. Let's have a talk about this. Like, what is it about? I want to know. I want to know what's going on, what it is. I mean, yeah, I mean, I want to be
So
involved.
does it matter
I wanna be
if
involved.
they're not paying for it and getting a similar experience from someone
Well,
online? I mean,
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot less. I mean, it's a
Really?
lot. Yeah. If they're not, it is.
so the same behavior, the same interaction, and if
Yeah.
they're not paying for it, it's not you don't consider it cheating. But if they're
Well,
paying for it,
yeah.
you consider it cheating.
Oh, this is a
that
hot topic.
that makes
No.
absolutely
Okay.
no sense to me.
I will explain it like this. If I catch my man, he's sitting there watching a webcam girl that's doing a free show for everybody, and he's just sitting there being a voyeur. Okay, it's live porn. Okay, but if he's sitting there like actively participating and ching ching ching, giving her money,
I know, but
and
that's
asking her to do stuff.
but that's
That's a whole nother thing.
That's still based off of, that didn't clarify anything because that's still based off of free or paid.
Yeah.
So if the behavior's
Yeah.
exactly the same, why is the paid considered cheating for you and why is the free not?
Because I think it has to do. That's a good question, honestly.
I mean,
don't
that
know. I think it's
doesn't
my
make-
knee-jerk- First, it's my knee-jerk reaction.
It makes absolutely
But
no sense
I'm
to me.
thinking, you don't need to be paying her. Don't be wasting your money on that.
So it's really about the money.
It's
then.
really about the money. Yeah, I guess
All
it is about
right.
the money
All
because
right.
it's about the money. Yeah.
So it's not about cheating or not cheating
it may
at
not
all.
be. I'm like, you ain't spending that money on that girl. You go and spend some money. You come spend some money on me, and I'll do some tricks for you. But that's not. I'm not gonna. That's just not. That's the way I want to do it. I mean, I have a very open relationship with that with my partner, and I was like, I just couldn't imagine them doing that anyway to me. But it was like, I think it would just be something. I definitely we'd have to sit down and talk, and if he could help me understand it. Maybe I wouldn't be so reactive to that, but there's just something in me that's just knee jerk, boom. I can feel it just like no, it's like a knee. Somebody tap me on the knee, and I'm like, this is my reaction.
Oh, how funny!
So, and I'm sure
I
there's
do
other
not
women out there.
have
It may
those
have this,
reactions like
And
that.
I know earlier
with
I may have
this.
been being a little harsh because maybe some of those ladies who are just like they have that reaction just with porn in general. And it could happen, and I get it, ladies, I get it.
Yeah.
That may just be the way it happens with them. I've run into a head full of conservative girls that I had girlfriends that were just super conservative, and they felt like anybody looking or anything. And I told them once, I said, it's human to look. To take action upon it, that's more of an act of cheating versus your man just saw somebody attractive to walk by. Because I said to her, I said, haven't you seen an attractive man? Haven't you seen somebody that you look? But she goes, well, yeah, I don't want to stare. But yet it happens, and we're all human, and it just happens. And don't beat yourself up or your partner. But if they start taking action and start flirting and you guys aren't in an open relationship, that's a problem. It's a problem.
My concept is let her do all the prep work and I'll finish it off.
Right.
I mean,
Yeah.
seriously, it's like, hey,
well, I
that's
just want to
great.
be involved. Honestly, a
Just-
lot of it, I want to be involved with my partner because if he wants to watch porn or if he even wants to do a cam girl, I mean, hell, we could make a date of it one night. If you want to pay a cam girl, I want to sit there and let's do it as a couple. I want to be a part of it. I think that's what that feels like. If you're going to really call it cheating, it's about being left out. Left out is a big deal to me.
For you.
Yeah, it's a big
Yeah.
deal. Yeah. Because I bond, it's, sex for me is a very bonding experience, and I want that
I think
bonding.
it is in some ways for everybody.
Well, yeah,
I
right. And
mean,
so that bonding experience, I want to be bonded and I want to have that. And it's just about getting to know your partner. And if this is something they're really into, and I've always been like, hey, tell me it. It doesn't matter how kinky it is. I'm open-minded.
Yeah.
But I want to get to know you. And if I can get to know what really get my partner off, even if
Yeah.
it's watching porn and stuff like that, it teaches me so much. So I have better ideas of how to please my partner in the bedroom.
Yeah.
And that right there is invaluable information. And I love that. And so that's the only way I can get that is being a part of it.
And see,
not being left
I'm
out.
the type of person that I'm like, hey, that's cool. I want to know. That's great.
Yeah.
I may join you. If it's not my thing, I don't have any issues with you going and enjoying it.
Yeah.
Because it's just something that we don't share, and I'm totally okay with that.
Yeah.
But knowing what they like, absolutely. That is invaluable information
Yeah.
because you can kind of understand them
Yeah.
better and understand just kind of the dynamics and maybe some of the things that they're really into. And you can be like, hey, you see somebody in the grocery store and you're like, hey, what about that one? Even if it's not your
my God,
type,
yeah.
but
Yeah.
maybe it's your partner's type, and just
Oh.
pointing those things out,
Yeah.
expresses
That's
that,
fun.
hey, I don't have any hangups. I don't have any
Yeah.
jealousies. I'm totally comfortable and secure in this relationship to point out something that you enjoy that I don't necessarily like.
Yeah.
It's kind of like when you live with somebody, a boyfriend or a spouse or anything.
Yeah.
You go to the grocery store and you see that they have their favorite cookies on sale. So you pick up a bag while you're at the store to surprise them to come home.
Yeah.
I'm kind of like that with extra partners.
Yeah. Yeah.
I see some that I know my partner likes.
Yeah.
I pick them up and bring them home.
Well, my partner and I.
And it doesn't matter if I'm included or not.
Right.
So
yeah.
I kind of look at
Oh,
porn.
that's kind of hot.
I kind of look at porn in a similar way. It's like,
But you were involved.
hey,
You were involved, though.
Well, no, you may like that, and it may not be my thing.
Yeah.
Go enjoy it.
Yeah.
Go
right.
enjoy
but
it
you
and-
handpicked it. You picked it out, so you had some involvement. With,
Well,
with
it's
the-
not
yeah.
hand picking it. It's just you see something your
Yeah.
partner would like, and I just bring it home.
Yeah.
I see no point
Oh
in
goodness.
not. That's the way, even though it's not my thing, that's
Yeah.
a way that I can give them that
Yeah.
without having to actually physically do
Right,
something that's
right,
not necessarily my thing.
Yeah.
But I don't ever prevent a partner from if it's porn, then looking at the porn that they like,
look
go
at it.
for it. I
Right.
want you to be happy and
Yeah.
get off. And if you
Yeah,
need
I
a
mean,
little extra, or
yeah.
you just need some private time,
Yeah.
go for it.
I'm
You're going to be a better person.
I'm totally cool with the go-to produced porn that is out there. There's no exchange. Just you can watch all that all day long. I'm totally cool with that. Hearing you say something about the grocery store made me remember something my partner and I like to do. And we'll go out to the grocery store, we'll go out wherever, we'll people watch, and sometimes it was fun. Early on in our opening the relationship time was we literally go out and be like, hey, he'd be like, honey, look at her, or look at him, and is he hot? Trying to get an idea of what your partner thought was attractive or whatever. And we just be looking at people and stuff like that as a couple together, and having that idea. And it was like, and thinking of porn, it always made me think of when we did that we were playing out some little porn scenarios or fantasies in our own minds together as a couple. And it was just kind of
You were
hot.
just
Yeah,
running
we're just
this
running
in your
this-
head.
Yeah.
Did your partner know?
I don't know.
Or
I
were they
just
part of that?
assumed that they were the
That
same
was-
way. Yeah.
Then how is that not cheating?
Well, it was like because we were both playing out fantasies with it. We both lead each other on a little bit. It's like, well, I could see her, I could see him doing this to us or joining us with that, and so it kind of set a scenario.
There's more to this.
Yeah, there's more to it. So it let our imaginations run. You know.
Right.
So, but we were doing it together, so it's not cheating. It was actually kind of, I think, fantasizing about. Having a menage a trois or having a foursome or a gangbang or things like that we saw in porn, but he hadn't done it yet. But it was like, that's kind of, we did a lot of that, and it was a lot of fun.
That would be fun.
Yeah. So
would.
it made me think of that when I heard you say
Makes the
grocery store.
time go by quick and grocery shopping
Yeah,
a
it
lot
does.
nicer.
Right.
So, in other words,
Oh.
ladies, if you're listening and you're having problems getting your partner to go to the grocery store with you,
Right.
just turn it into a sex candy store of new people to fantasize with and fantasize about together,
Yeah.
about doing all kinds of things.
Yeah.
I guarantee you, and men,
Vice
if
versa.
you're having a hard time
Yeah.
getting your lady to go use it, it works
Yeah.
100%.
It does.
Oh, this is awesome.
That was
I'm
fun.
so glad. I was really curious and to see where those lines and boundaries
And
were
we're very
for
different
you.
in those opinions.
Very,
Very
different. And
yeah.
both of them are very valid.
Yeah.
I think it's really a conversation that you have to have with your partner to
Yes.
see if you're both
Right.
kind of match up with
Well, that's
it.
how you
because
keep it from
I've-
being cheating.
I've dated people
Yeah.
that it didn't match up
Right.
with, and it was like,
Yeah. Oh, I know. It gets weird.
wait a minute. I thought
gets
we were
weird.
like, we had the same
Yeah.
perspective on these things, and
Yeah.
now I'm finding out we don't.
Yeah.
Hold
Yeah.
the train.
I think like you nailed it. Communicate with your partner
Yeah.
about porn together. Talk about it. Hell, you might even learn something about your partner. There's women. There's plenty of us women who watch porn.
Yeah.
You may find out, guys, that your girl actually likes to watch porn too, and all of a sudden you could have couples night watching porn.
I have a girlfriend that she watches more porn than any guy I have ever met.
Oh my gosh.
and have
wow.
ever known. She's
Yeah.
insane with it. But
Yeah.
if you need some recommendations for good porn, she's the person to
She's
go
the
to.
person to go to.
Like, just call
Oh,
her up,
goodness.
text her, go, hey, I'm looking for
This.
alien gangbangs. Do you know what they are? I mean, you can ask her the
Oh
most
my gosh.
bizarre porn concepts, and she's
Wow.
like, oh, yeah, let me shoot you a few links. These are really good ones you'll like. It's like she's like the epitome of the complete porn index encyclopedia of what's out there and who to go see. She cracks me up with
Oh
it.
goodness, she sounds like
Everybody
a character.
needs a friend like that.
Indeed.
If you want to show us some love, donate at rubydaytv.com, the home of all my exclusives. And don't forget to leave the show a rating or a review.